Also rein in die letzte Partie dieser ersten Session. Er ist aus Venlo, aus den Niederlanden, hier nach Saarbrücken gekommen. Ein zweimaliger WM-Teilnehmer, der es so genießt, auf den großen Bühnen zu spielen. Er sagt selbst immer wieder, ich bin eine kleine Rampensau. Hendriks, Jerry Hendriks. Jerry Hendriks, von der Sohle bis zum Shirt in sensationellem Style. Er trifft auf eine ehemalige Nummer 1 der BDO. Der Mann stand im World Masters Finale von 2013, kam dann 2015 zur PDC und ist inzwischen einer aus den Top 25 als aktuelle Nummer 25 der Welt. Der Jammy Dodger James Wilson.
To a daydream believer and a homecoming queen. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a...
Welcome back to the action. We have had ton plus averages, we've had last leg decided, we've had a whitewash, we've even had a 9-darter, and we are not finished yet. This is just the last match of the opening session of the 2019 German Darts Open, and we're all getting our breath back after half an hour with Steve Beaton, who produced a perfect leg. In fact, produced 13 consecutive perfect darts in a spell there in beating Kirk Shepherd. And Paul Nicholson, have you got your breath and your voice back ready to talk us through this match between the Jammy Dodger James Wilson and electric Jerry Hendriks?
I sincerely hope so. I'm a big fan of the walk-on of Jerry Hendriks, a bit of Swedish House Mafia. I'm into that.
What about the shoes that he's walking on in?
I do not mind them at all. I think they're a touch of class. There's a little bit of synchronicity and a bit of... I don't know, it all goes together, and it's very Jerry, that's the thing.
Very Jerry, like it. Sounds like an ice cream flavour.
Do you like Lethal Biscuit flavour?
Well, it's no longer the Lethal Biscuit, Paul, as you will see on the back of his shirt. He's returned to the halcyon days of the Jammy Dodger.
Purple dartboard flavour.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Jerry to throw first. Game on.
Changing IE for a Y, I believe, which has allowed him to use that nickname now. I'm not sure how long Jerry's been going under the electric nickname, but he's found a little niche for himself.
Yeah, he's been playing in the PDC for quite a long time now, and he's found another way to get into these European Tour events by going to the West and South European qualifier. And they're a great pair of shoes. Do not show them to Peter Wright, because he will have them off you. And he's not only playing with his own shoes and his own shirt, but he's, correct me if I'm wrong, he's playing with Mensa Sulevic's flights.
$59.
Maybe trying to get a little bit of inspiration from the Austrian. There is Mensa Sulevic's logo on those flights. Trying to emulate the two-time European Tour champion.
100.
Yeah, James Wilson trying to get back to form. He's been a seed for a European Tour event this year, but it didn't go to plan. He managed to get through a game with Mario Robert, but he hasn't been playing his best this year so far because he has had some issues.
Yeah, he's been suffering with this eye problem. He's been getting
60.
it a twitch, James Wilson. He has had some kind of treatment on it. Reckon it's worked?
139.
Well, we will find out in the next half an hour or so. But yeah, it has something that, as he's been trying to concentrate, his eyes kind of been twitching and causing him problems.
83.
That's a bad dart from Jerry at the end there. Should have been on a 2-darter. And he might be under pressure now.
60.
Pretty sure James had to go for 18s on that last dart.
Jerry, you require
130 is so much easier than 128.
Well, 101. The target there for Hendriks, and I never like
61.
going for the ball with 2 darts in hand on 82.
128.
I don't like going for 19s on 101. I don't think it's the right way to go. But it's just personal preference. 128 for James now. Now 60 ball. A little shake of the head
50.
tells you what he thinks of that.
Jerry, you require 40.
And Electric looking to light things up here with tops. Doesn't want to short himself and go in the single. That's a good shot.
First leg,
Jerry Hendriks takes the lead.
Second leg is James to throw
And
first.
he's very
Game on.
buoyed by that start because whereas he got through 4 games in qualifying last night, he didn't play particularly brilliantly. His highest average was 82, and he did that on 2 occasions in his first
21.
and his 4th match. But that's really unfortunate for Jamie Dodger, absolutely battering into one of those flights there.
Well, if Hendriks can go on and win this, he will take on Joe Cullen tomorrow in the second round.
141.
And should he manage to get past the Rockstar, we could see a 3rd round tie between Electric and Voltage. Rob Cross, the number 6 seed in the same section of the draw.
He had some good finishes last night, didn't he, in the Premier League? There's a 108 in there with a shifted treble 19 dart from the right side of the yockey that was absolutely incredible. I think Wayne Mardle put it very eloquently. There's some great commentary there from him.
60.
But a 120 to start the match. Voltage in brilliant form, but ultimately only got 1 point. He'll be looking for wins here this weekend.
180.
Yeah, we will have a couple of hours off air before the evening session gets underway. There are some
55.
really tasty ties coming up tonight. Gabriel Clemens against Raymond van Barneveld, probably the pick of the bunch, but Stephen Bunting and John Henderson has a nice ring to it, as does Kyle Anderson against Jeffrey Desvant. Also, we'll see the UK Open champion Nathan Aspinall. Dimitri van den Berg, the World Youth Champion as well. And
A couple of unknown quantities as well.
yeah, we will. We will see a couple of
22.
3 more home nation qualifiers. One better known than the others. There's
Well,
Jamie Hughes.
I've
happy.
got to say it when he waves at you like that. You've just got to say, yeah, all right.
Finally happy Jamie Hughes, having bizarrely beaten a player who averaged more than
62.
him, having suffered the reverse of that fate for most of the season.
He's probably thinking, I won today because my agent's actually here.
Well, the reason that he is sat there
140.
watching this is because
James
his
require 118.
management is the same as that of this man, Matthew Ward.
44.
Also of Vincent
you
van der
require
Meer and Daryl
83.
Gurney, who will join the party tomorrow.
Jerry needing treble 17 here, gets it. Double 16. Shuffles along
Yeah,
the
he's on
yockey
the
to
second
great
leg,
effect, and Jerry
Jerry
Hendriks takes a 2-0
I think
lead.
it's
This
Jerry
is
to throw
decent
first.
stuff from Jerry to
Game
start
on.
this match. He's looking to resurrect his reputation as a dangerous player on the PDC circuit. He's always had spiky hair. He's always had a lot of charisma.
He got
81.
the boys in the Sky Sports studio laughing their heads off at the World Championship a couple of years ago, didn't he, when he described himself as feeling like a fish on the stage. And Dave Clark and Wayne Mardle and whoever else was in the box
60.
could not contain themselves.
The thing about Jerry is he's never been boring. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always enjoyed playing darts. And I think he's played with a
125.
brilliant attitude in the last 10 years. That's very good. And that's very James Wilson as well. That rhythm's a lot quicker than it was a couple of European Tour events ago, which was quite deliberate.
137.
Yeah, well, he needed something to spark himself into action, James Wilson. Averaging in the 70s. Then all of a sudden, runs back-to-back maximums. Where does that come from?
I have no idea. He could lose the leg. This would be comical. It could be absolutely comical for him to hit 2 maximums in a row and lose the leg to a 158.
Well, look at this.
Giving it the full Kevin Painter retreat.
I mean, surely he's made it harder to hit.
120.
He was almost polishing the flight before taking aim at the double 19 there. And James Wilson, who fired in back-to-back 180s, does get a chance to take the leg. 16. Gives him a dart at the ball. Get in the ball, James Wilson. Halves the deficit, but only after Hendriks had missed a dart to lead 3-0.
That's a great conversion from James Wilson because he was under major pressure there from Jerry. That was a quality leg, all ends up. And there's a steely look of James Wilson today that I haven't seen for a few weeks.
Well, it took him a couple of legs to wake up, but Wilson has woken up.
81.
He didn't do too badly in qualifying. He only lost 5 legs to both players, Rob Owen and George Killington.
140.
If he loses 5 legs in this match, he will not be sad.
180.
Now Hendriks getting in on the 180 act. And full credit to Kirk Bevans, who's called plenty of those this afternoon.
40.
A stretch of 8 matches for him.
He's definitely earned his dinner, hasn't he, Kirk?
Well, as long as it's free, he'll be eating it.
I'll tell him you said that.
100.
Oh, he's called another one. Jerry Hendriks is coming to the 180 party. This could be a phenomenal pinnacle to what's been a very good afternoon session.
Well, in consecutive legs, each
Jerry
player has hit back-to-back
160.
maximums. Hendriks wants tops.
He does shuffle along that hockey a lot, doesn't he? Has to shuffle back. Does so to brilliant effect.
Jerry Hendriks.
This has been a very good
Leg
game
is
from
Jerry
Jerry
to throw
so far. I'm
first.
impressed with what I'm seeing.
Game on.
Well, he's moving towards the 100 average mark.
We haven't seen Jerry play this well for many years.
10 points better off than his opponent, who is supposed to be a
99.
better player.
On paper, you would definitely put James Wilson as the favourite. I did say earlier that he's maybe trying to get some inspiration from those flights of Sunovic. It's working. But there's another 180. Could we possibly get another game with double-digit maximums in the match?
Well, the last 2 legs have seen
58.
players hit back-to-back 180s, not at the start of the leg. Wilson's not going to do that in this one. If you are just joining us, then you'll probably be gutted to find out that we have already had a 9-darter this afternoon. Steve Beaton producing the perfect leg.
Yeah, 13 darts. Perfect, wasn't he? After a treble, then a 150 checkout, then a 9-darter.
57.
Yeah, 2 9-darters in ranking tournaments now for Steve Beaton, 17 years apart. Did hit one, of course, in a qualifier for the European Tour as well, a couple of years ago.
41. Change group 164.
James has a lot of time to use this 164.
What is the highest amount of consecutive perfect
45.
darts you've ever thrown? Just talking in practice. Would you know?
I actually do. In practice, I know where I was. I was at the White House Unique Social Club in Ashington.
I thought you were going to say the White House, Washington, D.C.
We'll come back to that in a second. It's a good story.
Well, let's see if James Wilson can finish this off, which he cannot now. And Hendriks has already missed a double for a 158 after some theatrics
69.
before the final
There we go,
dart.
158.
Could he give himself another chance?
It's unlikely. It's not going to happen this time. 134 be good.
84.
Now,
Change
James
your
Wilson,
bar,
is he going to
50.
go for 18 or a 10? 18. You look at the eyes, top right hand side of the board. Double 16. Bottom half.
18.
Now Jerry Hendriks is wishing
There
he got a
you
bigger
are,
score last time,
74.
but 74 should give him one dart for this leg. And it will be 4-1 to him. He'd be in such a good position.
Well, it's a huge moment, isn't it? The difference between a 4-1 lead and a 3-2 lead. He's going to get one dart at double top. Shuffling across again. Well, you have to open your eyes, Jerry. The eyes have it. And Jerry Hendriks does lead by 3 legs. Wilson in trouble.
I think that was a little bit of visualization there from Jerry Hendriks, and it worked so well. Yeah, going back to the story I was going to tell you. 17.
100.
Not
Hit
bad.
a 9-darter in practice, and the next leg I missed double 18 for another one. Yeah, that's the most I've ever had. I know that there are guys who have hit ridiculous amounts of 180s in a row. I know that I think Mervin's hit something like
83.
7 or 8 in a row.
Mervin's had 4 in a match, hasn't he? In a televised match.
Yeah.
I believe in Las Vegas.
140.
Involved him hitting back-to-back maximums and his opponent taking out the finish, and then Mervin hitting back-to-back maximums again.
85.
No Mervin here this weekend, unfortunately. He didn't qualify. He was beaten by Ted Everts. This match is firmly in the hand of Jerry Hendriks against what could be the run of form, because we don't really know a lot about what Jerry's doing.
60.
He's played a beautiful game so far, averaging steady around about the 90 mark, but earlier in the match he was playing so much better than that. James Wilson leaving a double, and that's more like it.
Yeah, Wilson in much need of this leg, and he's going to have 3 darts minimum.
103.
Good use of the board there for Hendriks, making sure he leaves the finish just in case.
Yeah, on the 6 leg, James Wilson.
But Wilson does stay alive for now.
Throw first. Game on.
That was a picture-perfect tops, wasn't it? That's where you're aiming for when you go for it. And Jerry's got to be careful. He's got to guard his own throw here.
83.
There's a lot of movement on that 3rd dart, though. There's a lot of follow-through with the left side of the body when he's thrown it. Got to stay still for all 3 darts, and that's something that
60.
Rod Harrington was talking about last night with Michael Smith.
I've often heard players say when they've been chasing a match, that all they're thinking is keep him 2 away. Keep him 2 away. Don't let him get within 1.
100.
So this a very, very important leg for James Wilson. Not only would it be a break, and it would keep Hendriks a couple away, but it would also
58.
mean that he'd be throwing to force deadlock.
I like that. Deadlock. I don't know why there has to be such a morbid word like
136.
death or dead in the very last leg, like sudden death or deadlock. Final leg decider sounds a bit more positive. But Jerry Hendriks will be hoping that we don't get there.
He can move within 1, and he's in a good position to do it here.
That's a good last
100.
start. You really want to find yourself an 82 and not 122, even when your opponent is so far back. Now, he should be aiming at tops after a 25 and a 17.
134.
We'd love to get the ball.
Jerry require 82.
68 it is. He doesn't have to go for the 18. Just set it up as he wishes.
42.
Yeah, be happy enough with that. Wilson needing to hit big. Just to ask a question.
It's been too sporadic for James today. There have been
135.
patches of brilliance, but it's the stuff in between that's let him down.
40.
Is this match going to be decided by brilliance or by potential misses? He visualised the last tops that he hit.
He's taking his time again. The eyes have remained open this time.
He's going to have to visualise a double 19 now. Has he got an angle?
21.
The answer is no, and James Wilson has the chance he craved.
56.
The tide could be turning. As Wilson tees up tops. And now double 10 to stay alive.
46.
Well, Hendriks.
Saw the way I moved there, didn't you?
119.
I just wonder sometimes here, Hendriks, at a crucial point in this match, is perhaps putting too much pressure on himself with taking all this time. He's building up in his own mind how big these darts are.
He's been a bit Keegan Bradley-esque. He's been a bit hesitant. Double 8, 1 dart left.
11.
See the pressure he's putting himself under. Maybe if you just played a little bit more fluid, like you said earlier on, you wouldn't feel as much pressure. But James Wilson now not entertaining double 5. 2 for double 4. He thought that was in. He now has to use this like it's his first dart and go through the whole routine again. Does so. Looks good to me. Oh, how has he missed it like that twice? That's why he's smiling. He thought both of them were in.
Well, 42 darts chucked in this leg. Neither player has finished it off just yet. But Jerry Hendriks has, and after all the trials and tribulations and the missed darts at doubles, he does find himself 5-2 up. But he's had a huge helping hand from the jammy dodger.
James is having one of those games where he's hitting so many wires on the wrong side, and there is the perfect proof of that. 3 brilliantly thrown darts, but just 2 millimeters away from getting a 180. It could well be very tense from here, and James Wilson has to understand the tense nature that Jerry Hendriks brings to the stage, and he may feel a little bit more pressure now that he's so close to the line. The winner plays Joe Cullen, like you said, Murph, and that is a difficult game right now. He is someone who loves the Euro Tour and will be buzzing for tomorrow.
60.
Not sure how enjoyable it will be for Joe taking on Jerry Hendriks if he does
140.
get over the line here and produce a similar performance in terms of his style of play, because it has been sporadic. The time differences in visits to the hockey have been almost Suljevic-esque, and he said, you know, he's using his
28.
flights. Maybe he's picked up another trick or two. That is easy for me to say.
You never know.
Is
Go
that
quickly,
going?
James. That
Is
one's
it
on
going?
the floor.
97.
Oh, only just got it.
Styled it out.
Jerry Hendriks is definitely behind the 8 ball in this leg. And if he wants to
140.
get rid of it in this leg, he's going to need mistakes from James Wilson.
That was some way off. Over adjustment.
97.
But he's rescued the shot there.
I wouldn't be shocked if this goes 5-all.
Well, that's a bold call, Paul.
Require 48.
But that's why you're the expert.
I think James Wilson's starting to relax a little bit. He's just covered the double 16 bed. He needs to go to the top. That's a great shot. Very similar to what Dave Pallett had earlier this afternoon. Found the angle and used it.
Did hit, had to adjust. And if Hendriks was putting himself under all that pressure just to get to 5 legs, and imagine the amount of duress he'll self-inflict in getting to 6.
Well, he's made a mistake there staying up top because he's covered the bed and he needed to switch down to 19s or 17s there. It hasn't been a brilliant game so far, but it has been very symptomatic of what they threw in qualifying, and there's more bad luck for James Wilson.
I think that is an understatement. I think one of them was in the treble.
This is better from Hendriks. Not sure why he didn't stay up top, but it didn't matter. That was a Woodstock type visit from Hendriks.
Well, all I can think is that it was something to do with either setting up what he's set up now, or the fact he'd just seen James Wilson knock it out of the board.
He could well be right there, Murph. Just didn't want to see it happen to him. He is in major control of this game now.
But is he in control of his nerves or whatever else is going on under the surface? Because we have seen him
38.
perhaps pile unnecessary pressure on himself in this match.
When you're feeling like that, what you want from your opponent is for them to have bad luck and have a bad leg, and that's exactly what James Wilson's doing. He's got a huge lead here.
Well, he went to the ball with the second dart there, I think, to deny himself the temptation of filling it up.
I think he was looking at, well, watch out, James.
140.
That first start was a bit wobbly.
Jerry require 84.
It doesn't matter what he was doing before, it's all about the now, and the now is 84 for the match. Interesting call, that. The call is double 4.
Once again, Hendriks hasn't hit. Wilson way back. And the Dutchman will return looking at double 2.
Well, this is a tricky one because if he goes inside, it starts getting edgy on double 1.
Well, he's looking edgy, isn't he?
Looks like a hamster that's had the door opened on his cage. Doesn't know where to go. The way is forward, Jerry. The way is double 2.
Well, quite fittingly, it ends in the madhouse, and Jerry Hendriks does move through to the second round of the German Darts Open to bring an end to an afternoon session which has had a bit of everything, including a 9-darter. That came from Steve Beaton. Plenty more action to come this evening, some huge matches coming up. But in the last game of the afternoon session, Jerry Hendriks beats James Wilson 6-3.
Jerry Hendriks steht in Runde 2, bezwingt James Wilson und wird morgen auf Joe Cullen treffen. Jerry Hendriks, den wir auch längere Zeit nicht gesehen haben auf der European Tour. Glückwunsch.
Vielen Dank, vielen Dank.
Zufrieden mit deinem Auftritt?
Ja, natürlich mit das Gewinn bin ich zufrieden, muss ich ehrlich sagen, aber wir waren beide ein bisschen nervös, denke ich. Ich weiß nicht, was da passierte, aber dann, Mann, 180 Shot, 180 Shot und dann 60. War nicht unser ganze geiles Spiel, was wir normalerweise könnten, aber ja, ist passiert. Ich habe gewonnen, bin ich sehr stolz auf, muss ich ehrlich sagen. Ich bin wieder auf der Bühne. Ja. I feel like a fish on the stage und wir gehen weiter nach morgen.
Nach morgen, Joe Cullen wartet, da wird auch die Halle voller sein, da wird es hier auch mehr abgehen. Du liebst das, ne? Auf großen Bühnen, vor vielen Zuschauern. Der Auftritt im Ellie Pelli, dein Walk-On, ich meine, der hat ja riesen Klickzahlen auch gehabt im Internet.
Ja, natürlich. Ich liebe das hier sowieso und das Publikum ist ein bisschen, ja, okay, jetzt weniger, aber das ist nicht, dass sie weniger sind. Das sind noch immer coole Leute hier, ne? Hey, Deutschland! Hey!
Jerry,
Hey, danke.
wir sehen uns morgen. Und deine Schuhe?
Ja.
Deine Schuhe sind eine glatte 1.
Ja, die sind Elektrik. Die sind Elektrik.
Sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut. Also, Jerry Hendriks, morgen gegen Joe Cullen. Glückwunsch.
Vielen Dank.
Klasse gemacht.